Welcome back everyone to another episode of the Bayern Munich Career Mode series. And this will be the 24th episode of the series, and before we get into anything, I just want to apologise for the lack of uploads recently. The support on the series has just been absolutely phenomenal. I probably don't deserve the support I'm getting, because I've just been really not uploading consistently enough, and I do apologise for that. I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon, but when I eventually do get a bit of a break, then hopefully I can get back to some regular uploading. The one good thing about not really uploading this series every day or every other day is I do get to evaluate your comments and see what you have to say. And if you did miss the last episode, I do recommend you go back and watch it because a lot did happen. There will be a card in the top right corner. Go ahead and click on the eye and it will take you back to the last episode. But we are currently in negotiations to potentially sell Thomas Muller, but based on what you guys said in the last episode, it looks like you don't really want me to sell him. I think we lodged the 98 million counter offer, but I have to say, if we get that money for him, that is ridiculous because that is well over double his valuation. Muller is getting on a little bit, so if we can get 100 million for him, that would be great. But I do know that a lot of you don't want me to sell him. So if Manchester United are a bit stingy in negotiations, I will just be keeping him at the club. One thing that I did forget to show you as well in the last episode that I probably should have shown you is the free agent that we did sign. We were looking at trying to sign Xabi Alonso's regen, and in the last episode, we did end up doing that. And this is what Xabi Alonso's regen is looking like. 75 overall at the age of 19. He's showing great potential. He's worth 4.9 million and he's actually got some really well-rounded stats physically. He's got some good long passing and short passing, as you'd expect being Xabi Alonso's regen. And he's also 6'6" as well, so he's got a bit of height about him. He may not really get too much game time, but I think as a squad player and a player for the future, he will be a very good talent. But here we do have the first game of the episode, and this one is going to be in the pre-season tournament final against Al Nassr. Probably pronouncing their name wrong of that team there, but it doesn't really matter. We're getting into the final here against them. And in the last episode, if you did miss it, we ended up beating Manchester United 2-1, and we should really be beating Al Nassr here. They're not really the strongest of sides, but I'm not underestimating them for this game, which is why I'm going with a strong lineup. If we do end up winning the pre-season tournament and beat Al Nassr here, we will get a really good additional amount of funds into our transfer budget. We are playing in the rain here, so hopefully that doesn't affect the way that we play and we can still get the result we want. It's going to come back out for us though with Bale. And we'll play it inside here to Draxler, trying to run forward. He's done very well actually to evade the challenges, and he'll have a shot. And it's gone into the back of the net, and what a fantastic start to the game that is by Draxler. Al Nassr's defending was a little bit suspect. I think a little bit is actually too kind. It was very, very bad. But the way that we slipped through there with Draxler was just brilliant, and the finish was even better. And I think it's fair to say that our quality really did outshine Al Nassr there. Hopefully that will be the first goal of many to come in this game. So at half-time in this game, we're currently leading Al Nassr 1-0. Al Nassr have been completely shut out attacking-wise. We've been really good defensively. And in my opinion, we've been very clinical as well because we haven't had too many chances, but we are leading. And as we go into the second half, hopefully we can keep that lead, extend it, and potentially go ahead and win the game. Sanchez forward again, up here to Lahm. We'll play it forward again. I think he's onside Bale. Hopefully he is because he's in a really good position, and he is. That's great. A really good turn as well. Nice scoop turn and a good shot. Off the bar or post. That's so unlucky. We should have scored that one. Oh, surely that's a foul. Come on now, ref. That's ridiculous. They have a shot, and luckily it's a poor one, but if that was a better quality player in that position, they would have probably scored it. Al Nassr have put on a lot of pressure in this second half, understandably trying to get back into the game. It's going to be very late on here. They get an opportunity maybe, and they get it inside, and Musab misses a great opportunity. They really should have at least put that one on target. It's a disappointing effort, and that wraps off a disappointing game for them. So we end up winning the pre-season tournament final in the end, 1-0, thanks to a first half goal from Julian Draxler. There wasn't really too much for us to shout about attacking-wise. We had a few half chances here and there, but aside from the goal that Julian Draxler did score, which was a brilliant solo run, I felt like we were lacking a little bit creatively, but we do end up picking up the pre-season tournament trophy with Philipp Lahm getting his first bit of silverware this season, and I'm very happy with that. You look at the stats there, we definitely had the better of chances, although in the second half Al Nassr did grow into the game, but we are very soon going to find out the future of Thomas Muller, whether he's going to be staying at the club or leaving. And oh my god, they've actually gone ahead and accepted the counter offer of 98.5 million euros. That's ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, I was the last person that wanted to sell Thomas Muller. I wanted him to stay at the club and prove himself in the second season. But 98 million euros for a player that's 28 years old and is going to be declining very soon, that is an incredible price tag. The only players that I think are worth that sort of money are players like Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo. I always say if you can get double a player's valuation, you've done really, really well in career mode, and that's certainly the case here. I really do apologise to those who didn't want me to sell him, but when we're getting that sort of money for him, you need to understand that it's very hard to turn down. There's a couple of players that you guys do want me to sign, one being Bayern, which is a good right back option, and another player that was suggested quite heavily, of course, is Kingsley Coman. He would probably make the most sense to replace Thomas Muller. He plays in a similar position to him, and it means that we can bring the young French prodigy back to the club and really develop him. Of course, once that deal does go through, if it does go through for Thomas Muller, we will be making offers for those players. And for winning the Asian Elite Cup, we get an additional 4 million as well. Despite the fact that Hysaj has played incredibly well so far in this series since we signed him, a lot of people are saying that I should be swapping him for Bayern. And there you have it. Just like that, Thomas Muller has moved to Manchester United for 98.5 million euros. That gives us an unbelievable transfer kitty to work with. It's sad to see Muller go, yes. And I'm sorry to those of you that didn't want me to sell him, but I think it was too late at that point. And getting this sort of money for him is just ridiculous. It's the sort of money that you just can't turn down ever for any player. And the buying board seem happy with that bit of business there for Thomas Muller because we have achieved our objective. We have an offer here for Julian Draxler as well, but I'm just going to be rejecting this one because he is the future of the club. Before we get into some transfer negotiations for some players, I'm going to edit some of the kit numbers. Based on what a lot of you guys did say in the last episode, I'm going to go ahead and give Gareth Bale the number 10 shirt. No one is currently occupying that number at the moment, and you guys said that I should be giving him number 10, so I can give Costa number 11. And I've just gone back and looked at some of the comments, and it looks like a lot of you do want me to give Draxler the number 10. For that reason alone, I'm going to give Gareth Bale the number 8 shirt, occupied currently by Gordino, who will go to a number 25. And we will have another player training session after all of that. And from this session, are we going to see any growth? We are. We're going to see Bazzi and also Eggestein going up in overall. I am really, really gutted to see Thomas Muller leave the club, but we are going to have to try and sign a replacement for him. The players that were mainly suggested are Kingsley Coman, Isco of Real Madrid, and the other one I think was... yeah, the other one was Kevin De Bruyne, but I think he's a bit out of our price range. It does really make sense to go for Isco because he's only got 1 year remaining on his contract and we could get him for cheap. I'm going to lodge in an initial offer of 30 million euros. They probably won't accept this because he's a really important player to Real Madrid. But if you look at the chief executive comments, I think we can get him for this price and hopefully we do. I may also make a separate offer for Kingsley Coman as well and try and sign both of them because we certainly can afford that. I'm going to be going ahead and offering 50 million euros, which should be more than enough to sign him. And the other player that was suggested was Bayern of Arsenal, but I'm not really too sure if we need him. Maybe as a third season option, he would be a good player, but currently we have Philipp Lahm, who's still good enough in my opinion to play in that position. Once he maybe goes down to an 85, maybe 84 overall, I'll probably look to replace him, but at the moment he's doing a good job. And of course we have Hysaj as backup, who has done really well last season, and there's not really any need to replace him. If Arsenal are interested in a swap deal, maybe I'll make this deal happen, but it doesn't really make sense considering Hysaj is actually better. So we have 3 emails in the inbox. 2 of them are bad news, but one of them is really good news, and that is that we have a transfer offer accepted for Kingsley Coman. He only wants 160,000 a week. I say only, but that's not really too much. I'll go ahead and offer him a 5-year deal with no squad role. Hopefully he accepts it. Understandably, Real Madrid are being pretty stingy in trying to sign Isco. They want 66 million for him, which is just ridiculous in my opinion. There's no way I'm paying that. If we can get him for his valuation, I'd be happy with that, and I probably won't go any higher than this. For the deal for Bayern though, they want 9 million on top with Hysaj, so I'm not really too sure if that one's worth it. And within the quickest time possible, we already have a contract offer accepted and a deal wrapped up for Coman. He's going to be costing us 50 million euros, which is a pretty hefty amount, but he's got good potential. He's proven to us as well last season that he's a really good asset, and I think we can really develop him into one of the best wingers in the world, so let's go and sign him up. And for Kingsley Coman, it is going to be welcome back to Bayern Munich. Of course, we do know Kingsley Coman from last season. We know his stats. We know he's a good player. I know in real life that I think he's already signed for Bayern Bayern Munich permanently, but I don't know why that's not a thing in FIFA. I'm not really too sure. I think they've already got a clause inserted, but of course, because clauses don't exist in career mode, that isn't a thing. And whilst we are here, we might as well just take a little look at some of the players that have grown for this month. David Alaba is into the 90 overall club. He's one of the world's best left backs, of course, and he's looking like a really good player. Renato Sanchez has also grown. He's up to an 82, only at the age of 19. Unfortunately, on the other side of midfield though, Vidal has gone down by -1. He's down to an 86, which is really disappointing in my opinion, because he played well in pre-season, and there's no reason, there's no warrant for this decline. Amid interest from Barcelona, Julian Draxler's gone up to an 88. I really think he can hit 90 this season, and only at the age of 23, he's really developed nicely. Nicolas Muller, our backup centre-back, is up to an 84. Thiago as well is growing very nicely, up to an 86 now. Our young left-back Henriks is up to a 71 as well. He's developing well. And that's all the growth for this month. So not really too much growth, but in certain positions it's impressive to see some players growing already. Our scouts have returned as well, so we are going to be sending them out to their respective countries. The German scout is going to be going to Germany for 9 months. The Swiss scout is going to Switzerland for 9 months. And the Serbian scout that we do have is also going to Serbia for 9 months. Unfortunately, Real Madrid are not going to budge on their price tag of 66 million for Isco. But now that we have gone ahead and signed KINGSLEY Coman, do we really need to sign Isco? I'm not really too sure, but I will make one final offer of 52.5 million. I really hope they accept this one. Again, they're not really budging. It's like they've got a release clause and they're not going to be going any lower than that. It's an addicting process and I do need to be careful of not overpaying for Isco, so I'm going to make one final offer, and I really mean that this time. I mean, if you're going to be like that, Real Madrid, I'm just going to sign him up in January for free, and then you really will be kicking yourself. We have an offer here for Eggestein as well on a short-term loan deal. We will be sending out our young striker, and it's another offer for another young player here, Fabian Benko. I'm looking to try and boost his potential because he has got a good future. So he will be going out on a short-term loan, and when I do recall him and boost his potential, I will show you guys. So there we have it. We do have a transfer offer accepted finally for Isco. I guess Real Madrid did come to their senses eventually and realised that if they didn't accept this one from me, that they would lose him for free in January. I'm not too sure if he's really a player that's needed, but I'm going to offer him a contract anyway. He's going to be a player that I decide whether we should sign him or not by you guys voting in a poll. And to do that, all you have to do is click on the eye in the top right corner, go ahead and cast your vote. And also let me know in the comments below whether you think Isco would be a good signing or not. But this will be where I'm ending off this episode of this career mode, and hopefully you have enjoyed. And if you have enjoyed this episode of this career mode, make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you are new around here as well, make sure you do subscribe. If we can try and get 70 likes on this episode, then I will release the next episode as soon as I can. We're currently in a position where we've got a really strong squad, but we could potentially improve it as well. We have a deal in the pipeline for Isco, and I need you guys to go ahead and vote on the poll, and also let me know in the comments below if you think that would be a good deal to go for. Having sold Thomas Muller, it probably does make sense to go for him, but also we've signed KINGSLEY Coman in the process, so it really does beg the question whether he will be used or whether he's just going to be a player that sits on the bench, because Draxler is 88 rated already, so he isn't really better than him, and I'm not really too sure where else he'd play. But that's up to you guys to let me know in the comments, and also by voting on the poll. But apart from that, guys, I'm going to have to leave it there, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.